I quit a social media platform that was pretty much 60,000 followers. This is the reason why I did it, and also why you probably should reconsider deleting your social media just as a whole, okay? For anyone that's new here, my name is Jeremiah. I go by Tropical Jeremiah on the interwebs, right, on the internet. And yeah, like, I made content that was about health and, travel, and also, wellness, detoxing, all things like that, right? And, that stuff is cool and all that, but like, honestly, the algorithms are so damn aggressive today. It's like, it's a whole world of negative things. I wrote down a list that I was gonna like follow along and kind of just like talk about as I go on about this video, but I just want to keep this like free flowing. So something that I'm gonna tell you guys is I never really liked the fact of like when I'm on when like first thing in the morning, boom, I'm touching my phone. I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling for a little bit, and I'll wake up sometimes 5 or 6 a.m. and I won't even get into my routine that I even coach people about doing, and that I've done before. Things that I developed over time and taught other people, I wasn't even practicing myself. And I didn't really like that, like, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Like first thing in the morning, boom, you get up, you touch your phone. Oh shit, who hit me back today? Oh shit, who liking, who on the gram right now? What's going on? Like you want to get caught up, and it feels like you're missing out on something. And then you find something that you actually like and you do a deep dive. Next thing you know, you laughing and hee and ha about it. And it's like, oh shit, well, the first hour of the day, you done spent looking at a 4 to 5 inch screen. You aren't even here on this planet. You're on a screen, wasting life, watching other people, and yeah, like I didn't like it because also too, it would make me stop like working out, and it'd just ruin the whole energy for the day. Like I want to make some food right now, but I'm gonna keep talking to y'all, but like, it just ruins the energy for the whole day. Like for example, I'll notice that I'll not only have like, mentally, like when your dopamine gets fried, it's like the whole day kind of reflects that. Like for example, I'll tell you this. So there's plenty of times when I would scroll first thing in the morning, and then later on in the day, I'll low-key get the jitters. Like I'll low-key be like wanting shit fast, I won't really have patience. And also too, when I do it at night, it ruins your dopamine. It really, really does. Your reward system mentally, it really does ruin it. And like, also I would do it at night. And when I do it at night, I'll be like, okay, cool. Well, then I'm about to wind down and go to bed. And it's like 8 or 9 o'clock. Your circadian rhythm is extremely important to be balanced, right? It just is. If you spending late nights, if you having early mornings and late nights, not getting proper sleep, I don't care how healthy you are, you're gonna have some issues, And yeah, like at night, I would start scrolling around like 9 o'clock, be on there for like 10, 15 minutes turning to 30, 30 turning to 40. Next thing you know, it's been a whole hour or two just scrolling, And then I get off that, I'm like, okay, cool, shit, I want to do some Netflix, I want to watch this, I want to watch some YouTube, And it's all like a huge ass distraction that I really just do not like. And for someone who is actually like an entrepreneur and someone that helps people intentionally break the chain talk wellness and just essentially reclaim their health, who am I to be having an issue with my routine, right? My lifestyle. And I'm also coaching people about like, health and wellness. Who am I to like, I can't really sit here in your face and talk about, oh yeah, I'm this a healthy person and yada, yada, yada. I can't sit here and give off that energy if late night I'm scrolling and early morning I'm scrolling, frying my brain, you know? So I felt like I was being a huge hypocrite. You know, though I'm eating right and doing everything else right, I felt like I was being a huge hypocrite. So I didn't really like how it was like destroying my dopamine, for one. And also I didn't really like how like it would so fry my dopamines. And see, this is why I wrote down, you know, the stuff on my computer so that way I can keep looking and stay on track, because I got ADHD, y'all. But yeah, so that would happen. And then also too, let me first talk to y'all about the women and the socializing and all that, right? So there's a lot of ghost followers on specifically Instagram, people who just want to watch you, people who just want to look and not engage. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, people just are like, just ghost following you. Or there's people who are not only just ghost following you, but they follow you because they want to be your friend and they aren't really supporting you. It's funny because it's like your actual friends that you really meet in person never see your content or never engage, and that's that. However, absolute strangers on the internet will follow you and support you and engage, you know? And I've had this issue before too, but like some people want to follow you and, you know, get certain access to you, but not support you. Like, you know what I'm here for. You know what I do. I'm a coach. I do this, that, and the third. But like, you constantly want to like get closer to me and just be a friend when like, I'm not here to develop friendships, you know? I'm here to serve a purpose, to help you, you know? I'm not here so that way you can come to my retreat for free and then try to negotiate a business deal with me, and because we're buddies now. No, like, you know, I've done that before. Like that has happened before, where people will either want to come to a retreat and don't come to a retreat because they realize that I need you to pay to come to a retreat because that's just fair, you know, and that's just business. And then like, you know, they don't come out, and then next thing you know, they're trying to like pursue something with me on the side. Like, people just are like doing things that is just not genuine, you know? And they do things with like, not they, but like people do things with like these hidden agendas. And like, so what I'm saying is that I just really don't like the whole energy behind this whole social media shit. And I'm done with it because it's a complete waste of my time. It's frying my brain, and the return on investment just simply does not fucking make sense. Instagram wants you to pay to be seen through advertisements, through paid ads, etc., etc. And also, even if you don't do that and you want organic, which my entire platforms are all built on organic content. I never paid for a single ad a day in my life. None of that. Everything has been super fucking organic from the very top to the very bottom. So, but Instagram wants you to pay, and also they want you to post 4 to 5 times a fucking day. Bro, there's no way I'm posting 4 to 5 times a fucking day. There's no way. There's no way, especially when you are not paying your creators. And also, you're only sending those pieces of content out to people who, to like, if like 1% of my audience. Like, the barrier to entry to actually getting to the people who intentionally chose to follow you, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, 4 to 5 pieces of content to just get your content seen by people who haven't seen your shit in a very long time, for one, and for two, are in a culture on a platform that has a culture of going 100 miles a second. And it's like, how do you even know what really you are consuming and who you are consuming from if the culture on the platform that you are engaging on is programming you to be at 100 miles a minute? Like, you can't slow, like, I have to be super aggressive in slowing down your attention and captivating your attention and keeping your attention to just hope that you can fully understand, fully understand and also remember who I am, what I do, what I'm about, and what I'm, talking to you about, and if you want to buy or not, And I understand how this can come off as pretty just as a disclaimer, right? What I do is very much so heart-centered. What I do is very much so something that comes from the heart. And, I wish I could download the live stream and just post it. But when I went live to talk about the reasons why I'm, deleting the app, Instagram specifically, I pretty much was just saying, like, look, man, I went hard with my business because I essentially hated the people who, run this world. And the people who run this world are people who essentially want you to be a slave and enslaved to the system. And I'm not about that. So that's why I created the board game, Breaking the Chains Off Wellness, because that's how dedicated I was to seeing change not only in myself, but also programming it in the next generations to come, specifically targeting children. And this also is not even about becoming vegan. This is about obtaining holistic wellness foundation, so that way you can break the chains off wellness and never depend upon big pharma for solutions when it comes to your health. You will already have certain foundations installed that will prevent you from ever having a issue, and even if you do have an issue, you will know 80, maybe 70 or 90%, you will already know what to do with that issue, if you, I don't know, let's just say, for example, you're hella constipated, an herb to deconstipate your ass. But no, you will know what to do, And so I'm very passionate about it. I don't do this actually for money. I do this because I genuinely want people to, be able to take back control over their health, okay? But so not only is it also frying, our dopamines and shit like that, but also we are collectively, I remember I would look at my time limit that's being recorded on my iPhone, right? And I'm looking at how many hours I spend a day on my phone. It would get up to 3 to 4 hours a day that I'm spending on my phone. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, in the morning, I'm spending an hour. During the day, probably another hour. And at night, 2 hours, or if not an hour. And collectively over the years, that's gonna add up to years. And as a human being that is aware of their human experience here on Earth, I don't want to be on my deathbed saying, damn, I spent all this time on a fucking 4 to 5 inch screen when the real entertainment is life itself. You see? The experience of life is something that I would choose any day over social media. It doesn't matter what's happening on social media. I want to experience life. That is what I'm here for, So, yeah, I'm just done with it, also Instagram not paying nobody. Bro, how are you going to choke people out of their audiences that intentionally chose to follow a specific creator because they want to see that piece of content? How do you, it's a 360 deal. It's a fucking 360 deal. And it's something that I just simply don't like. So yeah, man, reclaim your life, reclaim your time, and reclaim your mental health. It's ultimately what I'm doing, you know? And also too, I'd rather be on a platform like YouTube where I am like at least rewarded for the output, the creation of content, you know? Like at very minimum, like pay me for the creation of content, you know? Instagram ain't paying you shit. And also too, even if you have a lot of followers and you're valued on the platform, like if you get 1 million views on one video, I remember they did have a paid program on Instagram a long time ago, but it was like you could only make 500 to 1,000, maybe $5,000 on Instagram. But here's the thing, they want you to acquire like millions of views for $5,000. Do you understand? Like, let me tell y'all something. I got a background with YouTube, right? And I've been doing YouTube since like forever ago. One video that had hit, I think it was like 60,000 views or 30,000 views. I'm pretty sure it was like, oh no, I think it was 60. So this one video that hit 60, what I made was like $212 for that, just that one video. Now, if you do the math on that one, and also too, the way that YouTube works is it's not only just about views, but it's also about attention, like watch time, you know, like how long someone watches your video, you know? So you may think, okay, cool, well, 60,000, another 60,000, maybe another $212. No, it's more than likely gonna be like, you know, more than that. It's probably gonna be like 3 or close to 3. And it's just gonna keep compounding, you see? But yeah, like Instagram doesn't have that. They have what's called pay for a motherfucking ad and post 4 to 5 times a day to be seen by 1% of your audience. That's it. And also too, it's like when you really think about it, like, do I really want to sit here and have it with Instagram to get my shit seen by people who intentionally decided to follow me without getting paid to at least put in that amount of work, right? And also suffer the consequences of people that are a part of a culture set on Instagram to come into my business and become clients with such short attention spans and wanting everything for free. And here's another thing too about the whole free thing, right? I'm gonna tell you something. There's a saying that I'll never forget. I think my mama said it or something like that. But first off, ain't shit free in life, you know? But here's something that I think is very valuable. And it's like, if you give a broke man $1 million today, and he does not have any knowledge on how to duplicate that money and how to keep that money, it will be right back in the person's hands that gave him that $1 million very, very soon. Reason being is because he was never taught how to keep money, right? So like people who want these things for free, right? Whatever it is, say you get that thing for free, okay, then what? You don't know how to maintain it. You are not going to even value it because you haven't had the experience of what it takes to go through the hardship, right? To acquire said goal or said thing that you want to acquire. For example, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys, I've had plenty of clients that, you know, paid the money for my coaching program, but slacked off, you know? And, or at the very end, they're like, okay, cool, I did it, I'm good. And then like they quit, you know? And it's just like, people can get anything that they want today. What really, really matters is the experience through you getting what you want, because that experience is going to compound and also contribute to your why, okay? So yeah, like, and also compound into helping you stay on that path, you know? So, but yeah, like that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. Cause it's really crazy out here, and I'm cool. I want my life, you know? Like I'd rather have my life, and I'd rather have peace, and I'd rather at least get a little bit of money for the output that I have to do for, you know, content. So YouTube is just where it's at. And I gave away both of those platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I gave away both of them. Collectively 60,000 followers on both platforms, right? Gave away both of them. Deleted the apps, haven't touched it today, right? Even though I want to. But I've been so productive. I filmed a video, I did dishes, I cleaned around the house, and I'm filming another piece of video, piece of content right now, you know? But yeah, I gave both of those platforms away, and I'm gonna focus only on YouTube, because at least with YouTube, there is a return on investment. And also the culture on YouTube is 1,000 times better, because people, and I'll tell you this as well, for my other YouTube channel that had like 17,000 followers, people that came from my other YouTube channel, those people not only paid quicker, but they also stayed on the journey longer. Like, and there was no hassle. I didn't have to sell them on the idea of like, oh yeah, going, you know, eating this way is gonna be beneficial. I didn't have, like, they were already very well informed on who I am, what I do, what I'm about, and what they're signing up for. It wasn't like I had to teach or say all of that all over again because they have short attention spans, you know, or because they're on a platform with such low attention span, and the culture of that platform is so fast paced that it's like they get bored every like microsecond, you know? So yeah, so I'm looking at, you know, not coming back to Instagram or Facebook for like the next year. That's just really where it's at. That's where it's at. And also, even if I do, like, YouTube will be primarily my main squeeze, my main content, my main platform. That's just what it's gonna be. And if something comes around that's better, then something comes around and it's better, you know? But I'd rather slave away for a platform like YouTube. That's a harsh word to say. But I'd rather work hard on a platform like YouTube than Facebook and Instagram. I'd rather do it because at least I get paid, you know? So with that being said, man, like, yeah, I know it's gonna be hard because my dopamines are still needing to reset and all that, but so far I've been pretty productive. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I really, really do hope for those who are watching this, you think twice about your own social media, you know, situation. I actually did have an addiction and I hated it because like it would ruin the days for me, you know, ruin my dopamines, and also too what it's doing to women and men, what it's doing to us relationship wise as well as I'm gonna just tell you this too. There's people on social media that literally only socialize through social media. Like, have you ever noticed how like when someone send you a message on Instagram, they send you a reel, right? And then y'all talk about that reel, and then you reference that reel later on when y'all actually meet in person. And then when you be in like person, you start scrolling in person and you show people reels again. It's like we socialize through social media. And that's not how I want friendships to be. That's not how I want relationships to be. You know, and there's also way too many stalkers on there too. Like, I got exes and shit that be like looking at my shit, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're getting from looking at me, but whatever, you know. But yeah, my ultimate thing is I'd rather be at peace. And I'd rather, you know, like, yeah, I'd rather get paid at least for what I'm doing. Even if it's just a little, So that being said, I don't want this to be too long. I really hope you all think about your own lives and your own scroll time and your own dopamines, because it does matter, and because it will impact you neurologically and just how you socialize and just your day-to-day life. If you broke and you ain't got no money, and you scroll social media 3 to 4 hours a day, you need to cut that shit out your life right now. I mean, like, drop the phone right now. Drop the phone right now and fucking step on it. Cause that shit done made you broke, you know? So, but yeah, that's my TED Talk.